On this edition of Lexington Now, the Action Track Chair, part 2 of Mayor Gorton's budget address, and severe weather preparedness. I'm Neil Noah, and welcome to Lexington Now for the week of April 28, 2025. Lexington introduced the city's first Action Track Chair to allow folks with mobility issues to better enjoy our parks. We were there for the ribbon cutting.
Today we're making the unpaved trails and the programming here at Raven Run more accessible to people with disabilities. Thanks to the addition, right here it is, of our all-terrain Action Track Chair. We are thrilled to launch this exciting new program. Accessibility and access are some of our top priorities for our community as well as for our park system. While we're constantly making strides to make facilities and green spaces more accessible, there has always been a challenge with unpaved nature trails. This new program, the first of its kind in Kentucky, will allow more people to connect with nature. This is a council-funded initiative, and it is certainly appreciated.
Last fall, I announced the purchase of Kentucky's first Action Track Chair, and I'm thrilled to be here today as we launch the pilot program at Raven Run. I started this conversation last year with our Parks Department after reading about a Colorado program that was providing opportunities for those with mobility challenges to access their nature parks. I knew immediately this was an amenity that our community could benefit from. When I was younger, my father and I spent a lot of time in nature, but as he aged, his mobility became a challenge. I have 2 kids who love to be outdoors, and they love to spend time with their grandfather. I always wished there was a way that we could get my kids and my dad outdoors together, but we never had all the pieces of the puzzle to make it happen. If we'd had access to an all-terrain chair like this, our family would have had the opportunity to create a lot of great memories together. Similarly, I have a friend and a previous teacher. She wanted to be here today, but she couldn't. And she had a stroke not too long ago. This woman was active and young, and her life changed in an instant. She now lives with left side paralysis and mobility challenges, and she told me this: "I miss hiking and fresh air in the woods. Thank you for working hard to get me this chair." Sorry. I'm proud that Lexington's paving the way for our state and making our nature trails more accessible for everyone to enjoy. I'm excited that our residents will have the opportunity to experience our parks in ways they never have before. A big thank you goes to our park staff for sharing my vision and making this program a reality.
Thank you for joining us on this exciting day here at Raven Run Nature Sanctuary. It is a cherished landmark in rural Fayette County and a point of pride in the 12th District. We recognize the profound importance of ensuring its beautiful flora and fauna are all accessible. Thanks to the new Action Track Chair, all residents, even those with mobility challenges, will have the opportunity to experience Raven Run's picturesque views and rich history. I frequent the park with my family and am a firm believer in the many benefits that nature provides. Thank you to Mayor Gorton and Councilmember Baxter, Director Conrad, and all the Parks and Recreation team for making this possible.
Accessibility is one of our top priorities in the city and in our park system. We're constantly making strides, as the mayor mentioned, to make facilities and green spaces more accessible, but there's always been a challenge with unpaved nature trails. We did a lot of work in the past couple of years, the new Discovery Trail here, which is accessible, but this really expands our offerings. Beginning today, our chair can be reserved online via our parks reservation system, and those participating in the Action Chair on our trails will be accompanied by a staff member. They'll have a chance to choose between several times and different routes throughout the park. Reserved hikes will be available on Monday, Wednesday, and Saturdays from 10 to 12 or 2 to 4, starting on May 5th. So not too long. So folks, we want you to get online and get signed up. All of our park visitors will now have access programming along our trails, including the many things that happen here at Raven Run, including owl prowls, bird walks, and other nature programming. Accessibility is paramount to everything we do. Our therapeutic recreation program focuses on enhancing the life of folks and individuals with disabilities, including inclusive activities. The Action Chair will provide yet another opportunity for this expansive program.
3, 2, 1.
Mayor Gorton gave the city's annual budget address recently. We are bringing you highlights leading up to the adoption of the budget. We bring you part 2 this week.
Now, let's dive in and talk about a few of the budget highlights. I'm going to start with parks, where a new fund approved by voters last November will allow us to invest $8 million in exciting capital improvements every year. This year's projects, which are scattered all over town, follow priorities set by our Parks Master Plan, which outlines the needs for parks, recreation, open space, trails, on and on into the future. As I mentioned earlier, thanks to the input from council members, I've included $450,000 for gathering community input as a first step to updating the Parks Master Plan. This year, we plan to use the new capital funds to upgrade facilities at Castlewood, design a new Tates Creek Aquatic Center, install new playgrounds at Martin Luther King, Higbee Mill, and Lansdowne Merrick, and to build a new concession building at Constitution, among other projects. Outside of the new capital funding, this budget also includes funds to staff the new Douglas Pool Aquatic Center, which is scheduled to open mid-summer. Also in parks, we're expanding our popular extended school program to 3 more schools, providing after-school programming at Coventry Oak, George Washington Carver, and Mary Britton. We also have included $240,000 to expand programming at 6 community centers, as suggested by council members and the Community Center Work Group. These centers, operated by Parks and Recreation and the Department of Social Services, are at Charles Young, Castlewood, Dunbar, Kenwick, Tates Creek, and William Wells Brown. In addition, we have added a new recreation supervisor position for the newly renovated Black & Williams Gymnasium. These changes will provide many, many positive opportunities for our youth. Parks and Recreation also operates our award-winning therapeutic recreation program, which provides recreation opportunities for people with disabilities. A new home for therapeutic recreation will open in the summer of 2026. The new building, which also will house a much-needed new senior center, is now under construction in Shiloh Park. Our budget includes funds for 7 new positions for the senior center services. 2 new therapeutic recreation staffers will be hired in the 26-27 budget.
Severe weather preparedness after this.
Hello everyone, Mayor Linda Gorton here. It's May and our 250th anniversary celebration is springing ahead. Lexington is a city where everyone is accepted and embraced. Our residents come from all over the world. We're celebrating the uniqueness that enriches our community with the Diversity Festival. We're also celebrating the 200th anniversary of the visit of the Marquis de Lafayette, the hero of the American Revolution, to Lexington. Our county was named for him. Join us this May to learn more about the place you call home. Visit 250lex.com for more information.
Hello, I'm Lieutenant Chris Van Brackle with the Lexington Police Department Traffic Unit. Today we are talking about disability accessible parking and the aisles between those parking places. Accessible parking is a valuable and necessary resource for people with disabilities, and that includes the striped area next to accessible parking spots. These are access aisles, and it is illegal to park here, even if you have an accessible parking permit. Police and LexPark will write tickets when they see vehicles parked in an access aisle or parked in an accessible space without a placard, and the fine is $250. Know where and where not to park. Keep the access aisles clear. Thank you, and drive safe.
Welcome back to Lexington Now. Spring weather is famously fickle. Emily Fay tells us how to prepare when the weather turns dangerous.
They say April showers bring May flowers, but they also bring severe storms, and with that, severe storm damage. So last week we had a severe storm roll through the Lexington area, and we were hit with straight line winds. I believe the National Weather Service said it was between 85 to 95 miles per hour winds, which caused a lot of damage. So what we want people to know and understand is that it's time to be prepared for those things. Having an emergency plan and having an emergency kit are some of the most important things you can do before a storm hits. So for an emergency plan, let's say for a family of 4, that would include where you're going to go if you can't stay at your house, where you're sheltering your house if it's a severe storm, let's say thunder, lightning, or a tornado shelter within your house, usually an interior room or closet, bathroom, and any other planning you would need to do to take care of your family. So those with young children would have diapers and toys and extra clothes. Those with older children might have books and homework and things to keep them entertained. If you're a family that includes taking care of an elderly person, you want to make sure you have their medications, medical records, and any other medical devices they need to keep them going. The best time to prepare for a new emergency happening or another weather event is right after one has just occurred. So you may have had your supplies ready, but now it's time to refresh. And it's time to think about what you might need in the next time this happens. So it's a blue sky day. You don't want to think about something bad happening, but weather is unpredictable and we need to be prepared. So now's the time to sit down and go, okay, we didn't have power. What do we do about food? How do we get our medications refilled? Did our pets have enough food? How much do we need to keep in spare? And just make a list and check it off as you go. It doesn't have to be done all in one Saturday afternoon. You can spread out over a month, make a weekly checklist, and just build your kit back up. It's always good to keep that emergency supply kit in something waterproof, like a Rubbermaid tote or a waterproof backpack. They even make 5-gallon buckets you can cinch up, and now you have a way to carry water as well. Just do what works for your family, but it's important to do it. So every emergency kit will vary by family based on that specific family's needs. But in general, you should have enough non-perishable food and bottled water for 3 days per person. So a family of 4 servings a day per meal per person. And you'll also need to have a first aid kit, medical supplies, prescriptions for your family, blankets, flashlights, extra batteries, a weather radio with extra batteries. Make sure all of your emergency electronics are battery powered so that you can switch those out and still use them when the light goes out. If your family includes pets, if you have a cat or a dog, parakeet, you want to include them in your emergency plan, making sure you have food and water for them, about 1 gallon a day for dogs and cats, depending on the size. Obviously, Great Danes are going to need more water than Chihuahuas, but making sure you have that with you, an extra leash, a collar, any medications they may take, toys to keep them occupied. Pets get stressed too. You want to keep those anxiety levels down, and everybody loves a good toy. And making sure that you're prepared to bring them with you and that they're a part of your emergency plan. So where you go when you evacuate because your house is flooding needs to include a safe place for your dog or cat or parakeet to go with you. I would keep your emergency kit somewhere you can easily access it. Some people keep it in a utility closet or a linen closet. I know mine personally is tucked in the back of the pantry in my house. Ideally, we would suggest people check their emergency kits once a month, make sure your food's in date, nothing's gone bad, your medications like Tylenol, Advil are still good, and that nothing has been worn apart with age. However, if you can't do that, if it's just a little too daunting, you can always do it by season, so spring, summer, winter, fall, which is a good idea to check to replace those emergency clothings because you need different stuff in the winter than you do need in the summer. So if you have to be out in severe weather, obviously it's best to stay safe. So depending on your severe weather, thunder, lightning, those actions are going to differ. Stay aware of your surroundings, keep a way to have emergency alerts, weather alerts if you're going to be outside, and above all, take care of yourself and those who are with you. A watch and a warning constantly issued by the National Weather Service or other local alerting agencies Sound very the same. You've got a watch, you've got a warning, but the difference is sometimes confusing. So a watch is when a weather event may happen. The possibilities are there, you have all the ingredients, but it's not yet happening. Whereas a warning is when all of those pieces have come together and it's either going to happen or already has happened. So if you think about it in terms of tacos, a watch is when you have all of your taco ingredients laid out in front of you, but you have not combined it. A warning, on the other hand, is when you've taken all of those ingredients and put them into your taco shell, and now you have a taco. The best way to be prepared is to stay notified, whether that be having a weather radio or getting your emergency alerts following local news outlets, just to make sure that you have that information coming in when you need it. If you live within Lexington, Fayette County, you can sign up for Lex Alerts on our website, BeReadyLexington.com, and opt into weather notifications and any other type of notifications we offer to be alerted when something happens. And it's a free service that sends a notification via text, phone call, to a landline, even an email when they're ready to go out.
It's a busy week at City Hall, and we have live coverage on Lex TV and streaming online. And remember, you can also find the most up-to-date information on non-televised city business at lexingtonky.gov. Here's this week's meeting coverage. That's all for now, but as always, you can keep up with us on social media. Check out the latest traffic updates on X at LexRex, or catch our live traffic cams on lexingtonky.gov. For all of us at Lex TV, I'm Neil Noah, and that's it for now.